In this video, I'm joined by my friend Lionel and we'll be presenting our recommendations for the best big cubes. Both of us agree that the VOG 5 is the best 5x5. There are three major good features that the VOG 5 offers. Firstly, it is a very light cube, making it more effortless to turn and hold. Next, it is very flexible and it corner cuts with ease. This provides for a very fluid solve. Finally, the magnets are strong enough such that the cube is very stable. However, they are not so strong that they become overly snappy and slow the cube down. The resultant cube is one that can hit really high TPS.
The AoChuang is the second cube in line that we would recommend. Compared to the VOG 5, it has a much more stable structure featuring an internal protrusion that makes the second layer pieces a lot bigger internally and harder to slide out of place. The cube is a lot more solid to turn and much harder to deform compared to the VOG 5.
For 6x6, there are 4 really good cubes, but even though neither of us have tried the MGC6, we do have some opinions on the other 3. For both of us, the AoChuang GTS is our top pick. The cube has a much rounder design than the Shadow, especially on its inner layers. This allows the cube to turn more fluidly during centers and edges. The AoChuang also boasts the smoothest turning out of the 3 6x6s and is also very fast. The two of us use AoChuang GTSs of 2 different magnet strengths. Lionel uses the factory magnetized AoChuang, which is more stable, while I use one that has been magnetized by myself and it has weaker magnets and therefore it has slightly more flex. The AoChuang is by far the most difficult cube to get deforming lockups or pops compared to the Yi-Shi and Shadow. The Yi-Shi V2M has one of the best corner cutting abilities out of any 6x6. The magnets on the Yi-Shi are slightly stronger than they are on the AoChuang. This helps to cover up for its flexibility and keeps the cube stable during the 3x3 stages. The Yi-Shi does not pop, but it is slightly easier to deform in comparison to the AoChuang.
Shadow has its own unique strengths. The cube features a light and fast turning, similar to the Yi-Shi, but it has a more squared off design on its inner layers. This gives stable and reliable 3x3 stage as the cube flexes less and corner cuts slightly better. But in exchange, the inners are more rigid and require you to be more accurate. Now as for the magnets, the Shadow features the weakest magnets among the top 6x6. The downside is that the Shadow M is more prone to internal piece pops. Despite this, it performs well under accurate turning and is still a viable option used by many top solvers. Now moving on to the 7x7, we have 3 good cubes here and there's a split in our opinion about which is the best. The Spark 7 has very fluid turning and has an interesting butter-like feel, which is similar to the Shadow M. However, there might be a scratchy feeling during turning which can be easily overcome with high viscosity lube. Now for the magnets, it's just right so that the magnets stay in place easily, which contributes to its overall stability that reduces the chances of pops. For anti-popping, as long as the turning is accurate enough, pops and deformations are unlikely to occur, but they can still occur if the corner cutting exceeds 4 mm. The design also allows center pieces to spring back into original position upon near popping. The Haze 7 has this feature as well, but it's better on the Spark.
The AoChuang GTS is fast, smooth and turns with extremely low friction. The magnets of the AoChuang GTS are overall weaker than the Haze and the Spark, and they offer a very light and quick turning style. The inner magnets are slightly stronger than the outers, and this helps to improve the control in the edges and 3x3 stages. The AoChuang GTS has the same near-invincible anti-deforming mechanism as the AoChuang GTS. This creates a very stable and very reliable no-nonsense cube, and I've used this cube for almost a year and I've not gotten a single pop or deforming lockup.
The Haze 7M was released not too long ago before the Spark 7M was released. The turning of the Haze 7M is exceptionally smooth and fast. As compared to the Spark's butter-like feeling, it feels more ordinary and its clicky magnets is what makes it stand out. The Haze 7 magnets are significantly stronger than the Spark and the AoChuang, allowing the layers to stay in place. As for the anti-popping, the center pieces spring back into shape quite well. The corner cutting shouldn't result in pops or locking up unless it exceeds 3 mm. It doesn't pop that easily unless the turning is inaccurate and done with force.
Moving out of the official events, the Cubing Classroom MF series offers the best 8x8 and 9x9 on the market. At the size of a 7x7, the Cubing Classroom MF8 has a massive advantage over its competing brands. This, combined with its extremely stable triple center mechanism, produces a cube that does not flex out of shape, especially during outer layer turns. However, this cube is not perfect from the start. It is very slow out of the box and the small pieces pop out easily. Similar to how the Yixing Red 6x6 was set up, I switched this cube to softer springs and tightened the tensions. It helped to speed up the cube and reduce the pops. I also added big magnets to my MF8, which is a nice touch. For 9x9, the MF9 follows the same trend as the MF8. Just like the MF8, it is much smaller than other brands 9x9, and it features the same triple center mechanism as the MF8, which helps to minimize the unnecessary flexing that you will get with a bigger cube. This MF9 has yet to be spring swapped or magnetized. It has only been looped with medium viscosity loop. In theory, it might be possible to set it up to the same level as my MF8. However, the cube is already a bit faster than the MF8 and a spring swap may not be necessary. However, magnets will also add a nice touch. Finally, for even bigger cubes, I would wholeheartedly recommend the Meilong series as my number 1 pick. They are the only brand to make a 10x10 to 12x12 which have both the small size and the cubic shape, instead of just having one of the previously mentioned features. In addition, the Meilong big cubes are fast, smooth, light and stable. A special mention goes out to the 10x10 for being the fastest of the bunch. We hope you have enjoyed our take of the best big cubes of late 2019.